Good morning everyone, MMDA on the road. They just stopped now on Mabuhay Lane number 2. The Mabuhay lanes are of course always prioritized because they're an alternative to EDSA. There's a motorcycle, you can see the lady on the back, no helmet unfortunately. Seriously, they're just asking now to see the license and they'll issue a ticket then send them on the way, but the lady on the back will have to go down. They just stopped this motorcycle here, counterflowing, and both the daddy and the little girl don't have helmets unfortunately, and the man just said he doesn't have a driver's license, so the bike will be impounded. So you see they're just loading that bike onto the back of the tow truck now. There's no plates on the back, so they had to write the paperwork out to the chassis number. Incredible, it's such a nice bike, but unfortunately the driver said he doesn't have a license. And they just stopped one more rider now, unfortunately not wearing a helmet. I'm not sure what ID he just showed, but it's a driver's license they need. So you'll see the enforcer's just writing out the ticket now, and then they'll send him on his way. He is now wearing a helmet. So that argument you just saw was because they stopped this motorcycle, a man and a woman. Unfortunately the woman on the back wasn't wearing a helmet, and then someone from another agency came and tried to stop the MMDA from ticketing them. And actually both of these motorcycles are now being impounded because the drivers are considered as driving with invalid license. The reason is they've been issued tickets in the past and they haven't paid those tickets. Normally you only get 5 to 7 days to pay your tickets. If you don't pay them, it's considered as driving with invalid license, and if they capture you, they're going to take your motorcycle or your car and put it on the back of a tow truck. Right now the team are looking at this vehicle, partially on the sidewalk, partially in the road. You can see it is facing counter to the flow of traffic. They'll issue a ticket and then ask the driver to move it, and they're also issuing a ticket to this taxi here. You can see it's obstructing what should be the sidewalk here. That means pedestrians are likely to walk in the road, puts them at risk of being hit by passing vehicles and can add to traffic. And over here they've stopped this motorcycle rider, unfortunately no helmet. He does have a license though, so they can issue a ticket and then send him on his way. They've stopped one more motorcycle here, unfortunately Papa and young child without a helmet, and further along one more motorcycle, unfortunately back rider no helmet. They did also stop a car for a coding, but it turned out to be a doctor on the way to hospital. And over here they're issuing tickets to these two vehicles parked in front of the hospital or just beside the hospital, and they're also issuing a ticket to this pickup truck in front of McDonald's, no driver inside. And one more ticket over here, partially in the road, partially on the sidewalk. Like I mentioned earlier, they do prioritize the clearing of Mabuhay lanes. And over here they're looking at this tricycle parked on the sidewalk. They can't issue it a ticket because there's no license plate, so for that reason the tow crew are here and they'll put this on the back of a truck, and up it goes now to the back of the flatbed truck. Look at this rider they just stopped, helmet on his elbow instead of his head. That's a 1,500 peso penalty unfortunately. If you look over here you'll see two vehicles occupying what should be the sidewalk, and if you look on the windscreens over here you'll see they already have tickets. That will be illegal parking unattended, so 2,000 peso, 2,000 peso. The team are now next to Debitan Arcade. You'll see there's 3 vehicles parked here. There was a driver for this vehicle, but unfortunately he said he doesn't have a driver's license, plus the vehicle hasn't been registered for a few years. Someone from the barangay has offered his license to take the ticket so the vehicle won't get towed. As you know, the barangay have a very close relationship with the vendors here. The driver without the license just got back in the vehicle, ready to drive away. They're telling him if you don't have a license, don't drive. Of course, the sidewalk clearing team are also here. They'll be confiscating that sign that was obstructing the road. They've covered this road many times, countless times. I don't know if they also issued tickets to these motorcycles on the sidewalk. Perhaps there was a bit of an argument about issuing tickets to those motorcycles on the sidewalk, but it's been done now. They stopped this motorcycle over here because the young child wasn't wearing a helmet, and unfortunately the mother doesn't have a driver's license, so they're calling in the tow truck now to take the vehicle away. And down the road here you'll see they're issuing a ticket to this truck and this taxi, obstructing what should be the sidewalk. And over here they stopped one more motorcycle. You can see both of them are without helmets unfortunately. And over here one more motorcycle rider, they issued a ticket, no helmet and wearing slippers. And one more motorcycle over here, 2 riders, no helmets. Unfortunately it's very common in Manila City. And right now the team are looking at this tricycle parked on a corner. It's a nightmare when people park on the corner because it makes it difficult for vehicles to maneuver. If you look at the plate, it just says chairman. They just stopped one more motorcycle in front of that tricycle. Unfortunately no helmet, but look at the front of his bike. And I just saw in the trash here, someone's thrown these tiles away. They're actually really nice. They're odd cuts, but look, you could actually use these. It's a shame it's here in Manila, it's too hard for transport, but yeah, pretty nice. they stopped this motorcycle here. You can see a young child between the parents, unfortunately no helmet, very dangerous. The team are now here on Dangwa. They're issuing a ticket to this vehicle for illegal parking, and they've been, you know, trying to clear the sidewalks on the other side of the road. And they're speaking to the driver of this tri-school canteen over here. Not only did he counterflow, but he's parked up here to serve customers, so obstruction. They just asked the driver now for his license, and he said he doesn't have one, so they're going to actually impound this vehicle. Of course, the common thing in Dangwa is that the businesses take over the sidewalk, forces pedestrians into the road, and by afternoon sometimes they extend even further, and it just causes so much traffic. Plus, obviously, customers park their vehicles here to buy flowers. The shopkeepers are now clearing the sidewalk, but the truth is, without any tickets to the businesses or confiscation, nothing will change. They'll just put these out as soon as the team leave. One more rider here, unfortunately no helmet, was also wearing headphones or earphones in both ears. And again, one more rider, no helmet. Already has a ticket. Is it from today or another day? So unfortunately that ticket has expired. It was issued 10 days ago, so it's considered as driving with invalid license, and they will impound this motorcycle. And they're just issuing a ticket to this truck now for obstruction. And right now they're asking for the license from this driver. They'll also issue a ticket for obstruction and illegal parking. Sometimes people think if they put their hazard lights on, it will exempt them, but it doesn't.